News 25 is brought to you by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrump's optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, 2 recreational vehicles are destroyed by fire, and a local business owner files a lawsuit against the governor. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Fire crews respond to the north side for a reported blaze. It's Monday, May 11th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Well, a boat and an RV caught fire Saturday afternoon on a property in a north side neighborhood. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, as well as Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units, responded to Park Rotero on the north side of Pahrump for a recreational vehicle that was reportedly on fire that had extended to a boat on the same residential lot. The fire was contained to these 2 vehicles by Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue crews. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue is investigating the cause of this blaze. No injuries have been reported at this time. And Chief Lewis from Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue talks about a motorcycle crash that occurred recently on the highway.
Pahrump Fire Rescue is dispatched for a mutual aid assignment to Clark County at the Nye County-Clark County line on Highway 160 for a report of a motorcycle down with 2 patients. As crews were responding, we were updated that the 2 patients presented in a critical nature. Therefore, we ascertained the status of Mercy Air. As we arrived on location, we confirmed not only the accident itself, but confirmed the nature and did a quick assessment on the patients and found they definitely needed flight criteria. And so therefore, Mercy Air 21 and 24 were added to our assignment, as well as an additional medic unit from Pahrump Fire Rescue. We managed the patients pending the arrival of Mercy Air. Patient care was transferred, and both those patients were transferred to Las Vegas-based trauma centers. It's our understanding that there was a description of possible mechanical failure which caused the bike to go down.
Well, a Pahrump business owner is filing a lawsuit against Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak. In the complaint, Denise Corey, owner of Aqua A Salon, alleges the governor has acted beyond his authority in shutting down local businesses. Las Vegas attorney Craig Mueller is representing Corey. He spoke with News 25 about the lawsuit and the governor's actions.
We allege that the governor is acting beyond his powers, to emergency powers, and that further the actions he has taken are subsequently unconstitutional, and most importantly, that they are a taking. He's basically shut her business down, taken away her livelihood, giving her no compensation, and causing her great harm. The gist of the lawsuit, the heart of the lawsuit is found in Nevada Revised Statutes, NRS Chapter 414. Now, we all know that the governor and the government cannot take away your business. They cannot restrict you to your house without due process of law, that they can't take away your freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, or freedom of religion. So all these actions are, in fact, unconstitutional, and nobody on either side of the aisle is going to disagree that these actions are unconstitutional. So that brings us to the next bridge. In times of emergency, can the government act to preserve life and property? Well, our ancestors said the answer was yes, with a qualified exception. Back at 2 years after the Civil War, the U.S. Supreme Court says that war and emergencies do not suspend the Constitution. Emergency powers do exist when they are absolutely essential. So Nevada defined an emergency, I believe it's NRS 414060. It says emergency is any time a condition would prevail in the state of Nevada where property or lives could potentially be lost and the ability to control the threat is beyond the local authorities' ability to do so, which is very important, beyond the local authorities' ability to contain the emergency. Well, the governor, upon advice apparently from a non-licensed doctor, declared an emergency. He's entitled to, under 414, he can declare an emergency. But then he took it upon himself to do several things that were extraordinary. Instead of quarantining sick people, he quarantined all the healthy people, which is unheard of in the history of epidemiology. Now, he has deprived Ms. Corey of her First Amendment right to pursue freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, but he's also deprived and taken her business. Now, here we are a month and a half later, and we are still in lockdown. You know, he's supposed to be having a press conference today, but he continues to exercise powers that are not granted to him under the Constitution of the state of Nevada, and we need to have a court step in and tell him he can't do that. We are basing our lawsuit and our complaints that the governor has exceeded the statutory emergency powers granted him under Nevada law. Then, number two, he's violating the Nevada Constitution. Number three is violating the civil rights of the citizens of Nevada under the federal Constitution. The COVID-19 virus is a thing. It is a real thing. It needs to be paid attention to. On the other hand, there's absolutely no compelling reason to give up our civil rights. There is no compelling reason that we have to be all in home rest. And the governor's declaration of emergency is simply not in accordance with Nevada law.
Well, as of today, Aqua A Salon has opened their doors to business, as with other similar businesses here in town. Of course, they need to make an appointment by calling any beauty salon's phone number, and they are practicing social distancing guidelines that were put forth by the Phase 1 directive by Governor Steve Sisolak. Mueller says the lawsuit has the potential to attain class action status. He says he's spoken with other small business owners interested in the case. News 25 will return right after this.
News 25 is brought to you by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every bloomin' thing.
Welcome back. Amid easing coronavirus restrictions, many businesses are getting back to business. Disney Shanghai is reopening, and the U.S. Postal Service is asking the government to throw at it a $75 billion lifeline. Angela Miles has more.
Topping our news, the reopening process is underway across America. Manufacturing can resume in Michigan and in Kentucky today. The big three Motor City automakers plan to restart May 18th. In California, the biggest state contributing to the U.S. economy, retailers on Friday were given the go-ahead to do curbside pickups. Disney is back in business in Shanghai starting now. Tickets for the theme park's reopening sold out within minutes. Disneyland Shanghai has been closed since January 25th. It's the first major theme park to open back up. The Postmaster General is asking for help from Congress and the Trump administration. Mail volume is down during the pandemic. The U.S. Postal Service is requesting $75 billion. The president has authorized $10 billion under the CARES Act. Twinkies are selling well during the coronavirus outbreak. The Hostess company reported a stronger than predicted profit. However, there are concerns over how well the Hostess supply chain will hold up.
Thanks, Angela. Well, the Nye County Sheriff's Office has opened back up to the public. They made their announcement on social media.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office front office will be reopened for public services on Monday, May 11th, 2020 at 8 a.m. Due to the large number of customers we are expecting, we will ask anyone that is fingerprinted, applies for a work card, submits a CCW application, or registers as an offender to call ahead for an appointment at 775-751-7010 or 775-751-6364. We will not be accepting appointments for Tuesday afternoons after 1 p.m. Please make sure all paperwork is completed, signed, and dated before arrival at the NCSO. Please arrive on time. If you are late for your appointment, you may have to reschedule. If paying your fee by cash, please bring exact change. Please obey social distancing rules and wear a mask. If you feel sick, please call to reschedule your appointment at a later date. Please do not bring anyone who does not need our services into the waiting area. We will be closed from 12 noon until 1 p.m. for lunch each day.
Well, just a month ahead of the Nevada primary, the Nye County Republican Central Committee is quite busy. Joe Brzezinski chairs the committee. He spoke with News 25 about this year's primary and the unique situation due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Well, I tell you, this is a very unique time for the United States and the Nevada Republican Party, and then, of course, here in Nye. With the coronavirus, we haven't had face-to-face meetings, but we're doing a lot of Zoom meetings. We're doing emails and conference calls. been extremely busy. Our phones constantly ring in. I'm answering the phone for our headquarters. People want to know where they can vote, when's the voting, who's running. Well, the mail-in, I'm not happy with it either. All right, I think it opens Pandora's box to a lot of mischief. For example, I received a couple of cards in the mail at my home from the county clerk's office of people that lived in my home 5 years ago. And what I'm supposed to do is say they no longer live here and mail it back to the clerk. Well, I will do that, but how many other people are getting those type of cards and aren't mailing them back? There's I understand, over 3,000 in Nye County that they've sent these cards out to, and that concerns me, because some people are probably going to get it, well, this person doesn't live here, and they'll just throw it away. Then the clerk's going to think there's still legitimate voters at that address. And so somebody may play some games and end up voting for somebody who doesn't even live here. And that's a concern versus an absentee ballot where you have to apply for the ballot and you get it so they can verify who's getting that absentee ballot. Mail-in, it's a free-for-all. They'll get a ballot and they'll check off who they want and they mail it back in. Doesn't cost anything, it's free. Or you can actually take it to the clerk's office and hand deliver it if you don't want to send it through the mail. Well, right now we're actually concentrating a lot of efforts on re-electing President Trump. So a lot of our efforts are making phone calls for the president, identifying voters so that we can get the vote out, as well as then we're helping any candidates that are running in the primary. If they need some help or advice or guidance or need some volunteers, we can help set that up as well. We do have a website, 9gop.org, they can go to and volunteer there. They can call headquarters at 775-525-2500. We would love to accept donations, and again, you can go to our website, and there's a nice link there, donate to the Republican Party, and we'll be grateful.
Thanks so much, Joe. And the Nye County Republican Central Committee has announced that they will be having some debates later on this month, so give them a call to find out more information. We have contacted the Nye County Democrats and are waiting to see what is coming up as far as the primary election and if they have any candidates who would like to speak to us. And we once again are always reaching out to candidates to let them know that they are more than welcome to come on to KPVM-TV and Ace Country Radio to talk about their campaign. It's free of charge. We do it every single year for every election year and let everybody know what you're about. News 25 will return right after this.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Well, as families are abiding by statewide stay-at-home orders, national data is showing that many children are missing out on crucial vaccines. Cleveland Clinic Children's Dr. Kimberly Giuliano says experts believe COVID-19 fears are likely keeping many parents from bringing their children in for immunizations.
The national data does show that certain vaccination rates have dropped considerably over the past several weeks when the COVID pandemic started. Depending on the source and the vaccine type, it's anywhere from about 42 to 73% declines compared to the weeks leading up to the pandemic.
Dr. Giuliano says children, especially the very young, need to stay on schedule with their immunizations. Despite the prevalence of COVID-19, she says viruses that pose a greater danger to young children are still out there, and the longer vaccines are delayed, the longer children are left unprotected.
They do not have the immunity that the rest of us have, and there are other diseases out there right now other than COVID. Measles exists in the community, pertussis exists in the community, and these diseases can be fatal to children.
If parents are unsure about bringing their children to the doctor's office for any reason, Dr. Giuliano says it's always best to call first.
If you have any concern whatsoever, is call your doctor's office first. And they will tell you if it's something that can be safely managed at home, or if it's something that your child should be evaluated for.
Dr. Giuliano reminds us that fortunately, very young children don't appear to be getting very sick from COVID-19 infections, so the benefit to having a child vaccinated from other deadly diseases is still very significant, even though we are in the middle of a pandemic.
Well, the public's invited to a virtual town hall about Clark County's response to COVID-19 and the plans for Phase 1 Road to Recovery. The event is being held tonight, Monday, May 11th at 6 p.m. This is going to be addressing the plans to meet the guidelines provided for that Phase 1 of Steve Sisolak's guidelines. Participating is the Chief Health Officer of the Southern Nevada Health District, Nevada Restaurant Association President, and Nevada Resort Association President, and also the Southern Nevada Health District's Environmental Health Director. If you would like to join in, you can go to Clark County's Facebook page or on Clark County's YouTube channel, or even watch it on Clark County Television. Well, it's Monday, and that's time to meet another great pet looking for a forever home. Today, Darby O'Donnell joins us from Desert Haven Animal Society to introduce us to Poppy.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Poppy. Poppy is a little female. She is very interesting because she actually has quite a little body, but longer legs. She's extremely food driven, which is great for training. She has such a sweet little personality. She keeps trying to look for more treats under here. She's super sweet. Here, can you look at the camera? Let everyone see you. Oh, beautiful. She is a all black American Staffordshire Terrier mix. She has a white chest on her. She's super sweet. Definitely come and see her and all of her friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society. They're on Surrey Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse. They're still showing dogs at this time. So if you'd like to come and see Poppy and see how much she loves treats and also tennis balls, definitely come down and see her. Just give them a call ahead of time, 775-751-7020, or you can always look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Poppy, hey, you want this? Oh, yeah. She's happy.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
I know it's super hot in the studio right now. I don't know what it looks like outside, though, for our day. We got a little bit of wind, some clear skies. We'll find out more when we return from this break.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 92 degrees, Death Valley a high of 104, both with a low of 70 degrees, Amargosa 91, a low of 59, 87.52 in Beatty, Goldfield at 79, a low of 43, 78.42 in Tonopah, 72.48 in Carson City, 80, a low of 44 in Fallon, and finally up in Fernley, 76, their low is 48 degrees. Now today in Pahrump, we saw sunny skies. Our high today was 88 degrees. Winds out of the south-southeast up to 19 miles per hour. Humidity at 17%, and our sunrise at 5:40 this morning. Now tonight, we're going to see clear skies. Our low is going to be 61 degrees. It is 88 outside currently with 22 mile per hour winds out of the south-southwest. Humidity at 9%, and our sunset at 7:40 tonight. Now looking ahead to that 7-day, going to see some sunny skies on Tuesday and Wednesday, and on Thursday we do have some clouds rolling in. Those are expected to hang out through next Monday. Now looking at those wind speeds, we're pretty much going to be seeing some super high winds all through next Monday, up to 23 miles per hour Tuesday, down to 11 at 9 miles per hour from Wednesday to Friday, back up to 13 on Saturday, 22 miles per hour again next Sunday, and then 19 miles per hour next Monday. Now temperature-wise, on Tuesday we're going to be seeing a high of 81 degrees, down to 79 on Wednesday, back into those 80s from Thursday to Sunday, and then back down to about those mid-80s by next Monday. Our overnights are seeing a very similar pattern from Tuesday to Thursday. We're going to be seeing our temperatures in about those mid-50s, between 54 and 57 degrees, up into those low 60s from Friday to Sunday, then back down to a low of 58 degrees by next Monday. And so now with that, we're going to throw it back to the desk with Deanna.
I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.